Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Sweet Spot. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Jim Rosati. As always, Jim, 1 week, 7 days.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff to be excited about. Like you mentioned, 1 week until PAX hit. So, yeah, I'm excited for tonight's show. We got a lot going on.
We definitely do. Like, this is, like the moment we've been waiting for how long? I mean, it's still not here. We're still a week away, but like at least we can almost taste it. October 25th came. We got our first taste of candy. We created a damn show over it, right? And then like since that moment, you and I have been waiting for next week. All the other stuff's been cool. We became the biggest racing fans in the world, right? The smartest college hoop fans ever existed. But now it's our territory. Like in 1 week, the MLB Icons 2022 Leadoff Series pack's going to drop.
Yeah, and so we've got drop details. We have a checklist, so that's pretty exciting. We'll go through the checklist tonight.
For sure.
Talk about who we're excited about. We've got stuff going on in Major League Baseball too. I mean, opening day rosters are being announced. A lot of those prospects from the Uncut Diamond set are making their debuts here shortly. So there's some exciting news there for some guys. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about. It's exciting to actually be talking, like you mentioned, like racing, college basketball. That's cool and all. But we get to talk about what we like really enjoy and love tonight. So
for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to this episode. It should be fun.
I can't wait. And like you said, I mean, baseball's in really, you could say a day and a half away almost now at this point in time, since it's 9 o'clock at night. Like, I mean, we actually have baseball season going to start. We honestly didn't think it was going to start on time. It didn't start on time.
Yeah.
It came close enough on time.
We got delayed a week. AAA opening days tonight, so that started on time. So you'll actually have people, like we've been doing our Uncut Diamond player of the day,
yep.
We'll actually have someone today who maybe actually did it in like a real game instead of spring training. So that's pretty exciting.
That is kind of cool. And you know what? On top of that, as we're going to get into maybe a little bit here, we got some uncut diamonds that aren't going to be playing in today's games. And do you know why that is, Jim? Because their teams were smart enough and courageous enough to put them in the opening day lineup. So shout out to Bobby Witt Jr., shout out to Julio Rodriguez. Who else? Bryce.
Yeah, there's a few. Bryson Stott made it. Was that you mentioned J-Rod and Witt, Spencer Torkelson, Nick Lodolo, and it hasn't been announced yet. The Padres are playing their last spring training game right now as we speak, but it's looking like CJ Abrams could even crack the opening day lineup, which you wouldn't have thought would have been possible, at the beginning of the spring. But here we are, last day of spring training. He's still in big league camp. I think he's got a pretty good shot, especially with the Tatis injury. Like it's kind of like right. that kind of helps him.
So oddly enough, like you say, with the Tatis injury, beginning of spring, probably didn't have a shot, so that helps. However, there's rumors circulating about a Jose Ramirez deal potentially with the Indians. I don't know if that means CJ Abrams could be included in something like that, which, like you said, ultimately it looks like, I mean, if he's playing in spring training right now, he's not at AAA. Signs show he's probably going to make the club. But if he's involved with that and he goes to Cleveland, I don't know. Does that change things? Does Cleveland hold him down? Does Cleveland's bring him an opening day lineup? We'll find out, I guess. But there's potential. That's good enough for me. There's potential he's going to make it opening day, and I'll take that. So a lot of news that way as far as uncut diamonds go.
Yeah, we'll see. All the guys who are on rosters just had amazing spring trainings. They, if you're following on to our players of the day, you've seen a lot of Bobby Witt, you've seen a lot of Bryson Stott, you've seen a lot of Julio Rodriguez. So those guys did it enough that they are cracking camp with the big league team. So pretty exciting.
It for sure is. I'm really excited. But again, I'm really excited baseball's coming. We can talk about this drop coming here as well. So I don't know. I guess before we get into that, another thing that came about, which is also pretty cool. So Candy did announce that they're going to continue the plays of the day this year. So every single day there'll be one play highlighted from that game, or I should say from all the games, right? So one play from every game, and they lowered the cost, $15 a pop instead of, I believe it was 25, right? During the playoffs and World Series.
Yeah. $15, I believe. Yeah, $15 are going to be available for 24 hours, basically starting at noon Eastern every single day.
Yep. So that's pretty cool, I think, too, right? I mean, again, it's what I like about it is it's not like one from every game, right? There's not potential of like 15 plays of the days or such. So that way it doesn't get flooded. Like there's one singular moment, right? One play that they're going to pick out in that entire day to highlight. The price is a little more efficient. It's $15. So I think more people get their hands on it, right? But that's really cool. You know, I think that's really cool because like who knows? Maybe the very first day, J-Rod goes berserk and hits 2 home runs. And that's the play of the day. And now you own that, right? Like there's a potential of like some monumental things, right? Later down the line, someone else gets called up. You know, who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? So it's like, you know, get your hands on that particular moment, right? That might mean something to you or whatnot. And, you know, I like that side because we talked about the aspect of like the space. You know, there's people like to flip, there's people like to do whatever. Like this to me seems like a true, like the collector's mentality. Since it's open mint, you're probably not looking to buy these to flip at least quickly, you know, maybe in 10 years or something. But for all the collectors out there to get their hands on this, easy open access, pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, there could be some really cool moments just on opening day alone because you're gonna have a lot of people making debuts. So yeah, I mean, if you're a baseball fan, you watch MLB Network, you watch, you know, Quick Pitch, something like that. Like there's always like that one play that kind of starts off the entire show, or that one moment that starts off the show. So yeah, like that's going to be something where now you're going to be able to get an NFT of that. So, you know, whether it's a walk-off home run or a really good debut, whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty cool.
Speaking of starting off the show with a big moment, we start off the show with nobody on mute. So shout out to me,
Hey,
big moment in NS9 NFT history. Both hosts could be heard.
Good job. Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge.
That's like the first time in 3 shows.
I know. Apparently Mutner's not here to call me out this time, but now he's not here to see it either. Oh man.
And then what's kind of crazy is, you know, we were talking about all this stuff, but it was just put in Discord 7 minutes ago, in the MLB announcements channel. Candy is launching commemorative ticket NFTs throughout the season. So they announced this after we went live, so we don't even really have any details on it. But they're basically letting us know that, hey, there's going to be commemorative ticket NFTs that they are going to be launching this year too. So that's pretty sweet. Don't really have any more information on there, but they teased that just now. So
I already stamped it the triple win. I don't know for what reasons or whatnot, but I guarantee you there's 3 wins in that. Without knowing the details, I love that. That kind of goes in play with some things that we were talking about, just as far as our speculation tour of last off season. So the ticket, that's really cool.
Yeah, it does look kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's probably, I would imagine I don't know if they'll kind of coincide with the MLB Game Day app or what it is, but yeah, that's pretty neat. I guess we'll learn more about that, you know, in the coming days and coming months and stuff. But yeah, cool stuff there. Breaking news.
Yeah, for real. And like, I'm kind of torn because we're on this damn show, Jim, talking about candy, all this stuff, right? It breaks right now. We have no details. I really want to know what it's about. But you're right. Like, is it tied to your actual ticket? Is it just a generic blank ticket? I guess it's things we can speculate about.
Yeah, it's really just a teaser that they put out. So they really didn't go into too many details. But
if this ain't their damn MO.
I know. They tell us they give us just a little bit at a time. So, but that's not what we're here to.
I'll give Candy that.
Yeah.
They know how to create a buzz.
Yeah. I mean, so that's exciting. That's pretty cool. I mean, we've been speculating about ticket NFTs for a while now and what they can do with that sort of thing. So, yeah. So that's just announced just now. So, not going to be part of our show because we don't really have any details, but that's pretty cool.
But if you're watching, we broke it to you. Now go
exactly.
in the Discord and find out what it's about and let us know. Break that news to us. But for real, so the plays of days, this commemorative ticket that we'll learn much more about here shortly. This is all the stuff that's like just outside of like these baseball drops. That's just really cool about the space, what they can do and what they already are doing. So I really like it. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could potentially have that moment. Like, what if you're at that game? Like, what if J-Rod does go off right on opening day, has 2, 3, 7 home runs, whatever it might be? You get that NFT because you're at the game. You get the moment. Like, again, like collections, like aspect of it. Like, you were there and now you have these. That's really cool. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah, it's pretty neat.
You wait a few days and you get the rip packs, and maybe you get a legendary J-Rod in there. So,
boom,
there you go.
There you go.
So with that said, should we get into the back details?
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, there's a lot we got to jam pack into this show. We've got the screen up here. I don't know if you want to bring it up, but
yep.
We're going to bring up the details just of the coming drop. It is 7 days from now. So the 2022 MLB Icon Leadoff Series. So lineup 1, we've got some specifics here for you. You've got it on the big screen there, but they announced the checklist, so we've got that. We'll kind of go through that here after we talk about the drop and just talk about like who we're excited about. But it looks like this is gonna be a 720 player set basically throughout the entire 2022 season, the 2022 Leadoff Series. So 720 current MLB players, each 4 different drops of 180 players in each drop. So first drop next Tuesday. I believe it's at noon Eastern for general access. 10 a.m. Eastern if you've got early access. Check out the Discord. There's a bunch of ways you can qualify for early access.
Mm-hmm.
Most
of them have been locked up right now too.
Yeah.
But check to see if you've got it.
Check to see if you've got it. Check to see if you've got it. But some differences between this drop and the last one, right? So obviously we're talking about a full season now. Mint counts are a little bit higher, but like if you're comparing mint counts to other sports NFT brands, right? Like Top Shot or All Day.
Uh-huh.
We're still talking about
definitely
significant.
UFC.
Or UFC. We're talking significantly below those mint counts. So I am pretty excited to see that, right? Like NFL All Day commons are 10,000. We're out of 10,000.
Although they did say they're going to, I think 7,000 now. That's one of the updates. Just to be fair,
okay.
I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
They had an update that's going to be 7,000 cap now, which is cool, but still 7,000 compared to 5,000.
I mean, the most that any player will have is 5,001, right? So,
and that includes all
rares. That's across legendary, epics, rare, uncommons, and cores. So, I actually kind of like the way that they did this too. Like not everybody has every single rarity tier, which is cool because when we look at this checklist, you're going to see a lot of players where like if you open up a pack and you see that you pulled an epic, like you'd be pretty disappointed if you pulled like a relief pitcher epic,
like Anthony Alford epic.
yeah. So like there's certain players that it's like, oh man, why did I have to get that epic, right? So it seems like they're doing tiers of players here where everybody's going to have a core and an uncommon, but then there's only going to be a certain amount of people who have rares. There's even going to be a less amount of people that have epics. There's going to even be a less amount of people who have legendaries. So really cool idea there. With 100 players having a legendary, you're not going to end up having a legendary of this, like bench player for the Baltimore Orioles, right? Like that's not going to happen. So I like that aspect of it. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm absolutely with you. Again, we had no idea what was going to happen and transpire with this. So the fact that we were getting an idea that it was going to be a larger amount of players, like in there. I know a lot of people are thinking like it's still going to be top players. Like the All-Stars were just All-Stars, right? So they're good. Is this going to be maybe the top 5 to 10 people of every team? Is it going to be like maybe the top 200 or something like that? So we know it's basically everybody. There's a lot of players. But with that, you wonder too, like, are you going to get packs of just duds? And like you said, like, okay, if I open this pack and I have, 3 common relievers and I land this legendary, you're getting all excited for it. And then really it's a guy with maybe half a year service time under his belt. And then by the time you open it, maybe he's already DFA'd, like to make room for that other guy that was, waived or whatever. So it's like, now I got this legendary that I was so excited for. I mean, the odds of getting that is so minuscule, and I got it, and it's essentially worthless because no one's probably going to want that. So that's why I do like how they did open up. So everyone's there, and we understand there's probably maybe going to be some utility to these. We don't know if it's some fantasy wise such or just whatever it could be. There's the options are unlimited. So there's probably some type of utility, right? So fundamentally, every player could have some use, right? Even your relievers that you're talking about, but you can get those cores, right? If you get a legendary, you can still be really, really excited about it because there's just 100, right? Even for the rares and epics. So the way it breaks down is 100 legendaries, 260 players will have epics, 480 will have rares, 720 uncommons and cores. So I really like that. Again, it's once you hit on some type of rarity, because we talk about Candy, how they do their packs. That's really cool and exciting. I love that feature, how before you even open it, you see the rarity. So you could get excited before you get excited, right? Oh my God, I got an epic. So now you have something to get excited for because that's going to be a good player still. So I love the fact that they did open it up, but they didn't flood it either with all these, rares and epics and such, with also, not to hate on people, right? But lesser quality players. There's still at least quality type players that you probably want to collect and some value on it. So, and the other thing with that too, right? Like we understand with the amount of packs that are there now, there's a lot. I don't think, well, put it this way. You can't guarantee and bank positive value on these, right? Like it wasn't like you bought a $50 pack and you can sell them for $1,000 plus, right? $1,500 pretty much at one point with the All-Stars previously. Like, I don't feel like every time you go to open a pack, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth, but I don't feel like you're going to lose money on like a good amount of packs because they're just lesser players, right? So what we do know is $50 a pack still. The difference is last time you had 3 cards in there with a chance of at least 1 uncommon or higher. Now it's 5, right? So you gain 2 more, but those 2, right? And you have 2 chances of uncommon or higher as well. So again, they've opened it up to the players. They've given you a little bit more. They narrowed down the rarity. So like, I still think they're going to have some really nice hits.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I mean, you kind of just do the math, right? If there's 720 players in the set, there's 30 teams. That's on average of 24 players per team, right? So that's basically an entire roster, right?
Right.
So there's gonna be a lot of players in this. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned like what kind of utility are we gonna have? I'm sure Candy's got something up their sleeves for utility on these, throughout the season to add value to those collectibles that maybe aren't necessarily the most attractive, right? I'm sure there'll be some sort of contests throughout the year that, will kind of make it so that, hey, I know you just pulled this, mop up relief pitcher for the Twins, but, we promise you might have to need it someday, right? So that's kind of cool. Like I said, I'm sure there's something in the works there. But yeah, I'm just happy that we've got a new product. It's baseball, and you mentioned the price. $50 per pack is probably a little higher than I would have thought they would have been, but they are giving you 2 extras from the previous. They're giving you 2 uncommons or higher, like you mentioned. So yeah, I think you'll still like. Are there going to be some packs that are duds? Probably, but you're going to be able to get some good hits out of these, I think.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's a good point. Like, I feel as if, and we've mentioned this before on this show when Trash Cats were on with them, like we've talked about it, and to compare, right, with Top Shot. Like, I feel like with season 3, a lot of people hate on it, just simply the fact that we're spoiled. It is the nature of it. Like, we're spoiled for how long in Top Shot you open up a $9 pack and there's $50 plus in value, if not greater. And now it's kind of coming closer to like the real card collecting atmosphere. Like, you're not just supposed to open up a pack of, real life baseball cards as you do, Jim, a lot, right? Like, you don't open up your Topps pack that you bought for $300 and get $1,000 every time, because everyone would just do that. So I'm going to start doing that, obviously, so like we're obviously getting closer and closer to like the real life collecting. So like you can't just always expect to open something up and just make a ton of money. That's just not how things work in life. But what I do feel is if they have been able to do this in a way that I think most people will still be happy, again, like you're not just going to open up a pack and just make hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but I don't think anyone's really going to still go in here. And if you buy multiple packs, just like get hammered, and lose lots of money, because again, with the way they do the rarities, like they're still exclusive in that sense. The cores are pretty much open. It's open game, right? Like it's series 3 and Top Shot where it's 60K, mints, and you open up, you get those, and like they're really not worth much. Like there's a ton of them out there. Cool. There are some that are, and whatever, right? But we learned in series 3 when everyone's down. I was one of them. I made the point and said I wasn't going to buy one pack in series 3, and that changed because of utility. And so like that's the difference. Like you might start getting some of these relievers and who cares? But now, right, that reliever turns into the closer because there's a trade, there's an injury, and now saves count for some type of challenge. Now he's worth something. So we don't know what's going to happen, right? The value of these could change. But ultimately, again, like as far as the collecting side, the way they kept the rarities kind of low in that sense is nice. But let's go back again to like the mint counts. So in total, right, as we talked about, the total player additions go from 2,350 to a max of 5,001. And again, that includes every rarity. So when we talked about all day how they cut their commons to 7,000, that's just the common. If there's a rare out there, the rare can still be 2,000, right? There's, whatever they come out there with. So like with this, it's every rarity, it's a maximum of 5,000. And 5,000 still not a lot. I mean, in today's day, I don't think we still have like a true like user base, right? But if you just go based on like Discord, there's like 30,000 people on Discord, and me figure if there's 30,000 in there, 5,000 is not a lot just compared to that. And as this grows, right? I mean, 5,000 is nothing. So I really like how Candy did what it appears to keep that part in mind. They still want some rarity to this stuff that's not flooded out there. So I think it was a big win.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see them too. I mean, they look awesome just from the teasers that have been put out. It's from a mint count. Like I said, you had to expect that it was going to go up,
of course,
obviously. But I like that it's still very limited when you compare it to other projects that are based around sports, right? So, I mean, this is pretty much like Series 1 Top Shot, right? Where I feel like it's going to be pretty similar to that, even less maybe.
Yeah, true. I mean, like even Series 2 is for like people are complaining about Series 3 having 60K, but like all the ones before were 40K, and we're talking 5 in total and everything, right? When there's 40,000 LeBron James out there, there's only going to be 5,001 Mike Trout's, Shohei Ohtani's in every part of it. So like even those uncommons that we're talking about, that's valuable. Like again, this isn't the MLB Icon All-Star packs like that we got, right? As far as exclusivity, right? When the max on those was How did I already go blank on that? Is it 401? No, it was 501. It was
for like cores.
Yeah.
It's 559 for the uncut diamonds.
Yeah.
It's
409 for the All-Stars. So that's what I'm getting to. Like the 409 is just like that. That's super rare in itself that we're talking about. And that's just the basic core. So these, again, we know it's going to be a much higher mint count, but that's still a super rare item that you're going to have. If you get a core Shohei Ohtani, in the eyes of Top Shot, that's rare.
Yeah. I mean, the big names are still going to be big hits. I have a feeling. So that's because they're still going to be limited enough that, I mean, if you're looking at these numbers here and, so if everybody has an uncommon and a core, but 2350 is the number, right? You're probably looking at like that, the amount of cores out there is probably going to be like around 1,500 or so, right? If I'm just guessing. So yeah, like you better believe that if there's only 1,500 core Shohei Ohtanis out there, more than 1,500 people are going to want that, right? Yeah. So when more people want it, then there are supply of it, right? When demand is higher than supply, then that item is going to go up in value. That's just economics, basic economics, right? So yeah, you still are going to have, I mean, these are just guesses here, but if there's 1,500 cores, you're going to have a lot more than 1,500 people wanting those superstar cores.
Totally agree. And what's also really, really nice about this too is the fact that to look at this not in a negative way, right? It is more accessible this year, or this time around. Last time it was pretty limited. We know a lot of people missed out. In comparison of how they did it, like we understand there were some issues. Then for the uncut diamonds, they did it like one per pack, so it made more people be able to get those ones. But the fact that it was so limited, right? A lot of people struck out, didn't get anything. So the only way to get it would be secondary. And unless you got lucky, right? There's a lot of people got lucky, but for the most part, they're pretty expensive to do. So you could imagine there was not a whole lot of people that maybe wanted these and then didn't just because for the price point, they just weren't going to invest into it. But here is a way that everyone can pretty much get into it right away. Like there's a plethora of packs going to be out there. Now, albeit like 60,000 per drop, right? I know there's 2 in a week, but like that's really not a whole lot if you really put it in perspective. It's not a ton. You figure if everyone in the Discord was able to get a pack, everyone would get 2.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite a bit. I mean, it's a lot more than what they had before, right? So one thing I'm going to be really interested in is like, do these sell out and do they sell out quickly, right? That's, if you're paying attention, Candy has been marketing at least everywhere where my eyeballs have been. So, and I know I'm probably being targeted because that's how those things work. But when I watch spring training games, yeah. When I watch MLB.TV and there's Candy commercials on in between innings, right? When I go to websites and I'm reading, there's Candy banners everywhere. There's, they're really, I feel like, stepping things up. The commercials are pretty cool. So I'm really, really, really interested to see how many new users have this is going to bring. Have people signed up now, or are they going to wait until drop day and say, okay, oh yeah, I'm going to get in on this. I'm going to check this out. Right. So I want to see kind of the hype buildup all happen. Sunday Night Baseball is the 2 days before it. Like, will we see something on Sunday Night Baseball? There's with games on this weekend. What are we going to see during broadcast? What are we going to see commercial wise?
Don't leave off Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV.
Yeah. I think they have a really good opportunity here where they're going to have a lot of eyeballs, watching baseball here, especially this first weekend. Just get this message out in front of as many people as possible, because it's going to be better for everybody, right? If this sells out, and it sells out pretty quickly, maybe you want to be able to get everything that you want to get, right? But at the same time, you want it to sell out and sell out relatively quick. You want people to actually miss out on it, right? Because when they miss out on it, then they want it, and that's what's going to cause, values to increase. So that's probably the most interesting thing about this drop coming in. I just want to see I want to see how it goes.
Right. The other part that's interesting about the drops is the fact that we understand too, like a lot of this really was for the most part off Kenny's hands, and people wondered about why the marketing isn't there. I mean, what was there really to market at this off season? Like, hey guys, come in this space, but we have nothing going on because of the lockout. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense to really target and bring on users during this time because there was really no product there to give them. What was the point of spending all this money to get people on board to look at candy and say, oh, there's really nothing here for me, and then walk away? So now that this is live, right? Like you said, that the marketing is there, but again, we're seeing how the drops are spaced out. So I would anticipate, like you're saying, the very first drop that happens, right, this next week, it goes well, right? Word of mouth starts coming out, or people that are hearing this, right? Maybe they signed up, but they're skeptic. Like, I'm not really going to get into this. I'm not sure. Let me sit from afar. Let me see how this goes. And then, like you said, that first one sells out. They see the marketplace going off. Now, okay, I'm in. So then they come in second drop. So it's I'm also wondering, each step of the way, each drop, how many more users come on board then? How much more rare they go, right? If you're in the first drop and you get yourself 5, 6, 10 packs, I don't know what it is. I don't even know what to speculate on right now, right? But you're probably going to be able to get more packs the first drop than you are the last drop because you would anticipate more marketing, more users coming on. That last drop, you're going to get less because there's more trying to get it. So, but that's why I like it too, right? They kind of space it out so they can get people on to blow up this user base, hopefully. So, yeah, definitely like that part.
Yeah, and the other thing too that just done talking about the drop here. We think we talked about that quite a bit here, but they're gonna have dynamic stats, which is super cool. The fact that they're gonna be updated daily, you're gonna be able to actually see stats update throughout the year is pretty neat. If you're thinking about baseball cards and the back of a baseball card, right? You see the stats on there. One thing about these though is that they're last year's stats, right? You can look at last year's stats all you want, but what's cool about this is you're gonna have this year's stats. They're gonna be updated daily. Pretty neat. I'm pretty excited about that feature too.
Yeah, for sure. Something that you just don't really see out there. So pretty cool. And again, so it's nice about NFT, the possibilities you can do. You can't do it on paper. It's printed. It's done. So this can continue to update. So so that's also another thing they've added is the dynamic stats of this. So that pretty much hits the actual drop. Again, I like everything about it. Let's talk about the actual players that are coming out in lineup 1, right? This upcoming drop.
Let's do it. This is gonna be the fun part. Yeah.
I'll just touch on these and then we'll pull up the teams and such, right? But the notable ones, of course, Mike Trout. I mean, you got to have Trout. Of course, you got to have Bryce Harper. Wander Franco.
Well, Bryce Harper didn't have an all-star icon. So this will be Bryce Harper's first candy NFT. So, it was the MVP winner last year, but he wasn't selected to the all-star team.
Crazy.
So he wasn't in that all-star set. So yeah, Harper being in this is pretty big. And then obviously the next guy.
Oh, just take it, Jim. Keep going. It's your boy.
Yeah, next Wander. If you're into the physical card world, Wander Mania is kind of crazy right now because all of his, this is the year of his rookie card. So little different in the NFT space because technically he was a rookie last year, but his rookie cards on paper this year. Again, another reason why it takes a while to print paper, right? So, I mean, you can have a Wander NFT now, but just an absolute phenom, generational talent. He was really impressive his first 2.5 months in the majors last year, and he will be starting shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays this year. So super exciting guy to watch if you haven't had a chance to check him out yet.
Do you think that he alone starts drawing people to this space? Like this Wander Mania, just say, hey, this is going to be his first candy NFT. Let me get on here too.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wander is the biggest draw when it comes to this particular drop. Like if you're looking to bring people in who are collectors, Wander's the guy that's going to do it.
So maybe there's a reason he's in the very first one.
There's a reason he's in this drop.
Good job, Candy. Also, not in the first one, Francisco Lindor. Clearly didn't have the season that he would want, but it's Francisco Lindor.
Paul Goldschmidt. Not an all-star last year. Yeah. Go through it all. You're good.
So, Paul Goldschmidt, Kyle Tucker, Shane Bieber, Lucas Giolito, Julio Yurius, and Austin Riley. So according to them, that highlights the lineup one. Let's go into Candy's little video here. So your take. We'll start with the Astros because we know how much you love the Astros and collecting Astros players.
Yeah, so there's a few guys on here who Kyle Tucker was an example there on the page, but really young guy. He kind of broke out last year. He was a top prospect for a while. Last year was definitely his breakout year. Brantley and Bregman both had moments already. So they're repeat guys here, but also both Bregman's a superstar. Brantley, veteran, but still pretty good. Didn't he? I thought Bregman did. Or was it just Altuve?
Correa, Brantley, and
Okay. So yeah, I'm wrong. Bregman didn't have anything. So yeah, Bregman's first one. So no, you're right. Bregman didn't.
The second baseman. Jesus. I'm so terrible with names.
Altuve.
Yeah, Altuve. I thought those were the three. I don't recognize Astros, Jim. That's all. You're froze, Jim. Just so you know. I'm gonna delay some time here till you come back, but you're not coming back yet. So, Jim, there you are. Okay.
All right. Okay. Did you get mentioned Jose Urquidy?
No, that's where I cut you off.
If you watched the playoffs last year, he got the ball in some important moments. Phil Maton, he used to be a Philly. That's really all I know about him. But I guess he got traded over the offseason. Not really too special there.
Yet.
Jake Odorizzi, closer, really, really good, dominant reliever. And then Jake Myers is actually a rookie as well. Called up last year. Actually played pretty well. So I don't know how much playing time he'll get like when everybody's healthy, but he did play pretty well last year in some limited playing time, about 50 games.
Right.
So Astros, no one likes them, but they're there.
And it's funny, like you mentioned that, and like you're definitely seeing it, like even in this space. I mean, they're good players. Yes, I forgot Altuve's name, but like Altuve, I know Bregman was in it, but I mean every guy in there is a quality player. Brantley, I can kind of maybe understand a little bit. Like health has always been his issue, but like when he's played, he's been a very good quality player. But it's weird seeing how like there's no love for the Astros in the collecting world. So yeah, I mean like you look at that drop of the Astros, you're like, oh, these are good players, but it's like people don't want them. So anyways, moving on, the Mariners, 4 players with them.
We're not going to go through every single player like we did. That'll take forever, but some interesting names here. Kyle Lewis was the AL Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, got hurt last year. Hopefully he's healthy. Logan Gilbert, nice young pitching prospect who debuted last year. So this is like his first full season.
Who else is he on this? We're going to just bypass the Oakland. Yes.
Gosh, okay. Austin Allen might not even be in Oakland A for a while.
I know. Wouldn't mind him being a pie.
That A's lineup isn't great. Caprielian's pretty good, but that A's lineup.
You don't have to lie.
Much. Yeah. The Angels though, this is some star power. Trout, Rendon, Joe Adell getting on here. So Joe Adell was a top prospect.
Having a good spring.
Debuted 2 years ago. Just really young when he debuted, so it kind of took him a while to get things going. He looked a lot better last year, looking really good right now, and the Angels are definitely relying on him to come through. So, yeah, that'll be a guy who will be interesting there. Rangers, hey, Louisville guy, Nick Solac. So that's my dude.
Sure. So no one good on their team either. Then is what you're saying?
So Solac can hit. He just doesn't have a position. But yeah, no one really great there for the Rangers.
Yeah. So here's the next one. Now here you go. The White Sox. Now they're low. Like, there's a lot of players on the White Sox I want to get my hands on. And looking at this one, there's some notable players to have.
I mean, if you know me, I'm a big Yoan Moncada guy.
Yes, you are.
I love him. I think he's a future AL MVP if he can just put it all together. I think the talent's all there. Yasmani Grandal, probably one of the weirdest, stat lines of a productive hitter that you'll ever see.
Yeah. That's my dude. Not in the same way Moncada is yours,
yeah.
but that's my dude.
Yeah.
Just I think because it's like you said, it's so weird. Last season was just so fun. You know why he's awesome? Because he strikes a lot of debate. Is he good or is he terrible? And I love people who think that's a terrible player. So maybe that's why I really like them too.
Yeah. Giolito, obviously stud. Dylan Cease, up and coming arm. Garrett Crochet, I think he's out for the year.
Tommy
he just
John.
I think he just tore his UCL or whatever.
Yep.
So that sucks to see because he's another just absolute shutdown left-handed reliever that is fun to watch. But
he played in the playoffs too, didn't he? Right from getting drafted that year.
Oh yeah, Garrett Crochet.
Was he in the regular season
pitched
or
the minor
just the
league game? Garrett Crochet never pitched a minor league game.
Right.
Before he debuted in that 2020 season where there was no minor league season. Got drafted, and then he debuted later that year. Yeah.
The Guardians.
So yeah, so that's a bummer for Crochet.
Right.
Yeah, the Cleveland Guardians. These are the first ever Cleveland Guardian NFTs.
There you go.
Not sure if that necessarily means anything to anybody, but obviously,
have you
Shane
seen anything
Bieber
like
here.
in the collecting world?
No one really cares.
Have you seen anything as far as the Indians go with last season? Like the last time the Indians are, no. Okay. Is it just because
I think for
it's
the most
Cleveland?
part, it could be just because it's Cleveland, but yeah, and Bieber here definitely headlining that the four here. You all know him, one of the best pitchers in the American League. Going to be competing for Cy Young as long as he's healthy. Tigers, a lot of stuff here. You got future Hall of Famer on this list, Miguel Cabrera. He didn't have anything in the All-Star set, so he's not the Miguel Cabrera that we used to know, and as far as just like Triple Crown contenders. But Miguel Cabrera is a future Hall of Famer, so this will be his first Candy NFT. Casey Mize, former number 1 overall pick. He was a 2018 number 1 overall pick for the Tigers. So that's just kind of waiting for him to, live up to his potential.
Right.
Scooball's another good one who he's solid, but that's pretty much it there.
Did he have the most? What did Scooball do last year? Did he have the most innings thrown as a rookie pitcher or something?
The most innings for a rookie pitcher? Maybe. He was up all year.
I feel like that was the record he broke. I can't remember. I could be wrong, but also who cares? We'll move on.
No, I can't imagine that he broke any records, but I mean, it was 149 innings. I'm sure that's not a record, but Royals, not much to get excited about here. Yeah. I mean, yet. I mean, once Bobby Wood Jr. hits one of these drops, that'll be super fun. But yeah, these guys, I mean, Adalberto Mondesi is a guy with all the talent and tools in the world, but he gets hurt all the time. And I don't really know if he's actually any good anymore. But yeah, The Royals checklist, not excellent. Not excellent. Twins, Byron Buxton. That's a fun one. Because Buxton didn't have an all-star moment because I think he got hurt, so he wasn't there. But dude just got paid and is one of the better. I mean, if you're looking for like a outsider, like not Ohtani, not Trout, who could win AL MVP, I mean that's a good bet right there.
So you're putting him up there, AL MVP, Buxton.
If Buxton's healthy for an entire season, he's certainly capable of doing it. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have no problem saying that.
All right. Here it is.
Yeah.
The Rays.
The Rays are stacked here. Yeah, I mean, Rosarina gets his first NFT. Wander, obviously, we already talked about him. Zunino had an all-star already, I believe.
Yep.
So this will be his second. Shane Baz, rookie pitcher. I think he's like the number 8 or 9 prospect in baseball. McClanahan, flamethrower. Our own Brett Phillips from Discord gets his first candy NFT. So I'm sure he's a fan favorite of everybody. So that's pretty cool. Drew Rasmussen, he was part of the Willy Adames trade coming from Milwaukee. So nice young pitchers there on the Rays.
Right.
The Rays checklist.
I'm already getting like a buzz. You're hearing some chatter like, how many Brett Phillips are you going to collect? So like, I am intrigued of like what his NFT is going to do in this space.
Yeah.
Compared to like what you might think it might do. Is he like the next Kikuchi gang? It's like
potentially, because like, I mean, you look at Brett Phillips as a baseball player, and like he's a good ball player, right? Like a very valuable player on any team. Would love to have
a two-way player,
Brett Phillips, right? Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, every team would love to have it. Yeah. Every team would love to have a Brett Phillips, right? But he doesn't necessarily have the star potential that like a lot of other guys have. But as we've seen in the Discord, he's been super personable with everybody. Everybody loves him. So I wonder what kind of effect that has on his NFT. It'll be interesting.
Right.
I would imagine that it will have an effect, and that you'll have like the Brett Phillips effect, where his stuff is higher than what you would expect it to be, just because he's active and really well liked throughout the Discord.
For sure. So those Red Sox, Chris Sale ending up on the 60-day DL, IL.
Yeah.
It sucks for him.
I mean, I could imagine if you're a Red Sox fan. I mean, I know, you got Slim Fish over there talking candy, big Red Sox fan. He collects everybody, so I'm sure he's excited that you've got Pivetta in there. Christian Arroyo, solid catcher. So not the greatest Red Sox checklist. Like if you were to look at their roster, right, there's obviously going to be some other names and some future drops here. Chris Sale, potential future Hall of Famer. You can kind of look at it that way. That's kind of how I judge my pitchers here. If they're a future Hall of Famer, then they're probably worth it. But otherwise, we'll see. Hopefully, there's some utility with there.
Right.
Because I'm not a pitcher guy, but Red Sox. Not as good of a checklist.
It's coming.
Rays,
it's coming,
sure.
Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
there's definitely more talent on that team than this.
Yeah, it's coming. Red Sox fans love Christian Arroyo, though. So, they get that.
Well, there you go. The Yankees. There's a little bit of star power there.
Yeah, Stanton and LeMahieu. LeMahieu kind of had an off year last year. Stanton, when he's healthy, is just one of the best hitters in baseball. Luis Gil, young pitcher too, coming up. Andujar, I don't know if he's going to even be starting.
He's in AAA now.
So
yeah. Timing wasn't too good on this one, but yeah, like that's the one that's like, he was looking like a potential star.
Yeah. Blue Jays. So there's George Springer didn't have anything last year either. So a big Astro though. So again, when it comes to like, if you're comparing it to like sports cards, George Springer, people hate him just because of the Astros thing. So who knows how it'll transfer here. Reese Mcguire was just traded, so he's going to have a Blue Jay. I wonder, this is going to be one cool thing. So I wonder with NFTs if they can, like, I know there's dynamic stats. So is Reese Mcguire always going to be a Blue Jay, or like can Reese Mcguire transform in the middle of the year to a Detroit Tiger or to a Chicago White Sox? I don't know.
Like that is interesting that you say it, right? I feel like it's probably not going to happen. Like he'll just be a Blue Jay,
right?
But that's something that could happen. Is that maybe like what you see down the road with NFTs in this world? Like if they change, does your NFT just magically change with the trade or something? Like again, it's something cool that could be done. Dynamic stats are kind of showing that it can be done, right? The updates, so that would be kind of cool. Like one day, like you wake up and like it's just a whole new picture, a whole new team. Like wait a minute, where'd my card go? It's like, oh wait, this is it still.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Let's see. Nate Pearson was a top pitching prospect, debuted 2 years ago. Last year was his rookie year. Loris Gurriel Jr., very good.
I have a soft spot for him, by the way, too. That's my dude. I'm like waiting for him to finally put it all together, and he's also having a terrific spring.
Yeah, got all the tools. I mean, he's got all the tools to do it. Stripling, I don't know if he'll be in the rotation. If he's not in the rotation, he'll kind of be like a swing guy. So, Biggio just lost you. Biggio, though,
just keep talking, Jim. They don't know that we've disconnected our call.
All right, there we go. Biggio it's kind of like he gets squeezed out of the teams because there's so much talent around him on the Blue Jays.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Orioles. I mean, what can we say about the Baltimore Orioles? Just a pathetic team.
What we can say next.
Ryan Mountcastle's interesting. He should be. He can at least hit really well. He doesn't really have a position, but he can hit. But they're the Orioles. So next. Sorry, Orioles fans.
I mean, we're coming to the Pirates. Don't worry. We're coming. Giants.
Joey Bart, number 2 overall pick in 2018, behind Casey Mize, who we talked about earlier. And now it's like finally his shot too.
Yeah.
Like Joey Bart's kind of like been waiting in the wings as a top catching prospect for years now. Now that Buster Posey retired, Joey Bart will kind of be handed the reins there in San Francisco. Dodgers, Will Smith.
No one there you're excited for, Jim. Not at all. Not
Will Smith. Definitely excited about Will Smith. Louisville guy. Probably the best catcher in baseball right now. You can argue that with me if you want, but you'll be wrong in your argument. Justin Turner, Candy Guy. He's in the Discord.
Yep.
This will be his second NFT because he was in the All-Star set as well. Julio Yurius was headlined earlier. I feel like he's been around for like 10 years, but he's like 23 years old still. So like I don't know. I think he debuted when he was like 12.
And he looked it though too. He still looks 12.
Yeah. Oh, the dude's still so young.
Right.
I mean, he's somebody who like, if he's,
I was gonna say, like, that injury is nothing to play with, and he's come back and he's a good pitcher still. So I was worried about him.
He has almost 5 years of service time, and he's 25. I mean, he's pitched in parts of 6 seasons. He debuted at 19. So, he's been incredibly valuable in the postseason. Like, he's always like that guy that the Dodgers bring in. Like, he's good enough to be like in that top 4 because their pitching staff is just stacked.
They're all Cy Youngs.
Yeah. So like when their former Cy Young always falters, in the 4th or 5th inning, then they bring in Urius and it's like, oh crap, here's another really good pitcher. So
he's like the 7th best pitcher in the NL, but yet the 5th on his own team.
Yeah, right, exactly. So yeah, so that'll be he's a good pitcher there to have. Padres, Joe Musgrove.
A lot of pitchers here.
Solid pitcher. Lamet, another solid pitcher. Will Myers. Padres are probably going to try trading him.
He might be a Guardian.
Releasing him before we're soon enough here. Got a couple of relievers and Pomeranz and Stammen. Caratini, backup catcher. So I mean, nothing great there for the Padres.
If you get a Yu Darvish NFT, do you automatically get the Caratini NFT?
Maybe. Yeah, Caratini. Yeah, it's like his personal catcher. So maybe Caratini's highlight is just a bunch of Yu Darvish strikeouts.
It might be. Yeah. It's not even admitting. He's just back there catching.
Yeah. It's just him catching balls, like catching splitters.
Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
I like it.
Marquez is his second. He was in the All-Star. So Marquez with another
very
one
good,
here.
Underrated pitcher who has to unfortunately pitch in Colorado.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your Colorado pitchers are just like, you never know. Kyle Freeland, we all thought he was going to be good, but then that turned out not happening. Daniel Bard, really cool story. If you don't know the Daniel Bard story, that's kind of cool.
Slimfish does.
Like yeah. So I mean, he debuted like 10 years ago, 10, 11, 12 years ago, maybe even more than that. And was out of baseball for years and years. And he's come back now and he's been pretty effective. So
he throws heat.
That's yeah. So that's kind of cool. Sam Hilliard, that's just a guy really. So
I feel like that's your prototypical Rockies player they develop. Just this guy that's just kind of comes out of nowhere, almost like the Cardinals a little bit, like just comes out of nowhere and like is productive, but no one really knows of him. And then leave Colorado and then you never hear of him again.
I mean, he's also not productive though.
Well, yet. I mean, that's a good point though too.
Yeah. I mean, he's a guy.
He's a guy.
Diamondbacks, Cattella Marte didn't have anything in the All-Star set, so Cattella Marte is a good one here. Seth Beer, who I'm sure is super excited that the National League has a DH because he can't really do anything other than swing a bat. So Seth Beer in the house. Christian Walker, solid catcher. Pavin Smith, former first-round pick. Cattella Marte is the headliner on that group.
For sure.
Really good player.
All right. The Brewers.
These top two guys, Christian Yelich, former MVP, Willy Adames, traded from the Rays and just had an amazing second half of the year last year for the Brewers. So two solid guys there. If you're looking for like fantasy purposes and stuff, like Adames just killed the ball last year.
That trade worked out for him.
It did work out for him.
Hell yeah, it did. Let me ask you something here too. Just to your point.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich, does he turn around this year? Do we see the old 19 version of Christian Yelich?
I don't know if we'll ever see like the old Christian Yelich ever again. Like the 7-8 WAR Christian Yelich is gone. I do think like he can still be a productive player, but like the MVP performing Christian Yelich, I think is done.
There you go. Heard it here first. Or
sorry, Yelich.
For the 1000th time.
Yeah.
Cardinals pass.
We talked about Goldie. Obviously really good. Jack Flaherty, really good pitcher. Paul DeYoung just annoys the hell out of me when he plays the Pirates. Gallegos, reliever, throws fire. Miles Mikolas, gosh, he could be a meme NFT too, just with the way he is. You got a lot of relief pitchers here. Genesis Cabrera too. All those Cardinals relievers, they just grow on trees and they all throw 103 miles an hour. So
right. What I find interesting about the Cardinals, and none of them are in this drop, but I mean, it's like the farewell tour for the Cardinals. So all of them are going to, I'm sure Pujols is going to be in one of these eventually, right? So you're going to have the second Molina, I guess, right? The first Wainwright, and then the first Pujols, and they'll be the last as well. So I think, like, as far as the Cardinals go, that's maybe the interesting part of them. Now, not in this first tier, right? But eventually, when they're out there, you're talking about 3 Hall of. Is Wainwright a Hall of Famer?
He's been pretty good for a really long time. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer.
I think that one's debatable. The other two, I mean, as much as I want to hate on Molina and whatever, like, he's still a Hall of Famer for just being Molina. Pujols is a Hall of Famer as well. Wainwright's kind of like probably not, but
I mean, another one to kind of look forward to with the Cardinals here is Dylan Carlson. Hasn't had one yet, so Carlson's there, and Nolan Gorman, who's uncut diamond, kind of waiting in the wings, will probably be called up at some point this year as well.
Right. All right. So the Indians, who's left?
Reds, not the Indians.
I'm sorry, Reds.
Jonathan India. NL Rookie of the Year, Jonathan India. So he didn't have anything last year, so this will be his first. Just had a hell of a year last year. Red second baseman. Moustakas, everybody knows him, come from the Royals and then the Brewers and now with the Reds. I think he's going to be the Reds' third baseman this year, now that Suarez is gone, I would imagine.
Or he should be this whole time.
Nick Senzel, former top prospect, just hasn't really got it going. Shogo Akiyama was just DFA'd, so that'll be fun.
Perfect example, right? Yeah. How some players shouldn't have epics and rares, and you're like, I'm assuming he's one of those that didn't.
Yeah,
because that would suck you out legendary, and he didn't even play. He's just gone.
And like I don't know if Akiyama's even somebody who will like get
picked up
somebody. So this is gonna be a one and done for Shogo probably. Really interesting name here though, Jose Barrero. Super young, talented shortstop. Still technically has his rookie eligibility. He's a top 20 prospect on a lot of different lists. If you're a card collector, he was Jose Garcia, changed his name, Jose Barrero now. All of his rookie cards last year were Garcia, but that's an interesting one there because he's got some potential there. So.
All right. Cubs now.
Cubs. Patrick Wisdom had a really nice year last year after being acquired from the Rangers. Ian Happ just always kills the Pirates, so we hate him. And then we got Jason Hayward, really good defensive guy, can't hit. Nico Horner was a top prospect. Don't know if he can hit either. Alec Mills, only thing he threw a no-hitter at one point, didn't he? Yeah, so that's about it.
He did, didn't he?
Hewer, he did.
I forgot about that.
I think Cody Hewer from the White Sox. It's nothing really huge here. This is kind of a disappointing Cubs checklist, but I guess their roster is kind of disappointing in general.
Yeah, I mean, it'll give it. There's some names out there, nothing major, but if you thought that's bad, and then we got the Pirates.
Now you have the Pirates, obviously the best team in Major League Baseball.
Clearly.
No. I mean, the name that sticks out here is O'Neal Cruz. He was sent down to start the year, but he should be up soon, hopefully. A lot of lists have him in the top 10 prospects. He's not a top 10, he's top 20, 25. So one of the better prospects in baseball, just humongous power potential from the shortstop position. David Bednar, if you're looking for like closers, right? And for like if this is going to become like a fantasy challenge type of deal.
Closer that no one ever heard about.
Yeah,
David Bednar,
but solid closer. Rest of these, Anthony Alford, blah. And these, rest of these
that's another one. Like I wouldn't get that, but whatever. But
JT Brubaker, opening day starter, but we won't really touch on him.
And like I'm curious, like obviously some of the guys that aren't going to be in this year, we joked about whatever, but like with O'Neal Cruz, him being sent down again, like, is it just going to be his home run that he had last year? Then like, what is his moment this year? Like, what are they going to use?
That's true. Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess that's got to be it. It's got to be his home run.
It has to be that one, right? So, like, that's what's interesting too. Like the newer guys that are in here that just haven't really played this year. What are we picking from? So
yeah, because I mean, you look at somebody even like Jose Barrero.
Yeah,
right? I don't think Jose Barrero even has a home run, like in Major League Baseball. So, yeah, I don't know how they'll necessarily do that. I mean, I guess you could just pick a cool play, like a double or something.
Sure.
But
yeah. Right, that stuff like that is kind of interesting to me because it's very beginning of the season. Like this season hasn't really started yet, so I'm kind of curious of where they're drawing the moments from on some of these players like that. Yeah. Especially, like Andujar, who's DFA or not DFA, but sent down, and then some of those guys. It's like they're clearly going to be last year's. Obviously with that, but
I mean, I would imagine all of these will be from last year, right? I mean, they've already made these, so they had to have happened last year. But yeah. World Series champion Atlanta Braves. Austin Riley was a guy who was headlined there in the blog post, but really broke out last year. Was a pretty highly regarded prospect coming up, and just completely broke out last year. Had a huge year, big postseason too. Dansby Swanson also kind of came into his own last year. I feel like former number 1 overall pick, had a good postseason. So I mean, those are going to be the two main guys there.
And then here
Guillermo Heredia going to even make a team? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Phillies though. Yeah, I mean, this is solid. So Bryce Harper, obviously NL MVP. You all know who Bryce Harper is, so that'll be a big headliner of this set.
And again, his first one.
Yep. Alec Boehm, top prospect coming up. Didn't really play very well last year, so he'll be looking to kind of bounce back. Mets, obviously Lindor, one of the better shortstops in baseball, had a down year last year, so hopefully he can bounce back there. Mets fans definitely kind of need him to be good. Pete Alonso,
the home run king.
Home run king, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Dude's just gonna win tons of home run derbies.
He should be like MLB should just say, listen, you're not playing baseball anymore. We want you on our MLB home run tour.
Just do a tour of Pete Alonso. Yeah, just go around the world hitting bombs. Yeah. That might not be a bad idea. Diaz, and that's who they acquired from Seattle for Jared Kelenic. So, pretty terrible trade there for the Mets.
I mean, they got Robinson.
Trevor May's good. Yeah. That hasn't worked out.
Listening to the podcast version, I clearly rolled my eyes.
Yeah. Trevor May, solid pitcher. JD Davis, I think they're talking about trading him. Or unless maybe
I mean, they've been talking about trading him for years, I feel, though, too.
Yeah. So, Marlins, bunch of good young pitchers here. Sandy Alcantara and Edward Cabrera, two good young starting pitchers. Rest of these guys are guys, though. So,
hey, Pablo Lopez is good. Talk about pitchers.
All right.
Don't stop it.
Okay. Not as good as the other two.
I would love Pablo Lopez in any rotation.
All right.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Thank you. And then Washington. Cap it off with Washington. Yikes. No Soto there.
Yeah. That's a rough checklist right there. I thought Tanner Rainey was going to be good, but he's not. I mean, you never know with relievers, though. He's got good stuff, so he could figure it out eventually, maybe. But, not a great list. Josh Bell had, 2 really good months for the Pirates and then got traded. Escobar's old. I mean, how old is Alcides Escobar now?
I don't know, but Starlin Castro's back, and that's another guy you feel is 39 years old, and he's 32, I believe.
Yeah. Escobar's 35.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, not the greatest list there for the Nationals. No. That's for sure.
that capsule?
But no, I mean, yeah, very exciting though. Like we mentioned before, there's a lot of fluff in here, right? I mean, obviously, if you're gonna have Major League Baseball, there's 26-man rosters. Not everybody's gonna be an all-star. That's what makes the all-star set so cool from last year, is that literally everybody's an all-star. But this is you're now kind of getting into the the meat and potatoes of Major League Baseball, and you're gonna have some stars, you're gonna have some guys, you're gonna have some people who are gonna be DFA'd, and you'll never see them ever again, like Shogo Akiyama.
Right. Yeah. So again, like I'm super, super excited about this drop. So let me ask you this, right? Let's talk a little bit about potential strategy. All right, make it official, because I think we talked a little bit off air, but clearly, as we all know, because you're holding the Mike Trout legendary in your packs, you are holding the packs of the first drop, right? The All-Stars and such. So with this one, seeing that it's more open, there's a lot more packs out there and such, right? The scarcity is going to be as much there. Mm-hmm. And I think we're anticipating we're probably not going to see $1,500 resale value on these. What is your strategy in buying?
I'm going to buy as many as they let me, I think.
Okay.
So I mean, to an extent, right? Like if I can buy an infinity amount of them, like at some point I'm going to have to stop. But my plan is to buy quite a few of these. From a ripping, holding, selling standpoint, I'm going to rip all of them except for maybe one or two packs, just kind of hold.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to be in rip mode on these.
So you've kind of transitioned, because last time I felt, well, it's nothing to really feel on you. You've showed it. Last time was I'll rip some to see.
Well, also,
but you're more in like, I'm going to hold. And I think it was a struggle, but we pulled you to do maybe two more. But ultimately, I think deep down, you're like, I wish I didn't do those two. Like, I think last time was more half and half, right? Where this time you're leaning more towards, I'm going to open and hold a few to just do.
No, I mean, last time I bought 14 packs total last time, and I ripped 10.
But two of those came after, right? Two of those you did afterwards.
I think just one did, maybe two. One? I'm not sure, but yeah. I think I was planning on holding 5, and I held 4.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, the plan here is I'll hold 2 just to hold for the future, to just see what happens. But I'm ripping the rest.
Yes, I am ripping everything. So don't intend on me holding a damn thing. There will be plenty of content if it's up to me. So, like you said, I'm going to buy whatever I can buy. I would anticipate, just based on the numbers and everything, that you'll have the ability to buy multiple packs, but I don't think it's going to be like there's 50 that you could potentially buy. And again, it'll be good that there isn't, and I hope that is the case, because I think it's going to be bad if you could buy 50 packs. But I think it'll sell out. I think it'll go well, and I'll probably buy 10 or so if I can. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna buy them. I'm gonna open every single one, and go for the gusto. That's how my MO has been everywhere. Like when I get an NBA Top Shot, when I got into all day UFC, it's been open, right? Like the only reason I'm holding packs now in NBA Top Shot is simply because I feel like I have a plethora of S2 moments. Let me go ahead and just hold them. I have nothing here yet in Candy. If we're talking about utility, you're going to need this stuff. I'm in it for the utility. I'm in it for whatever we're going to do. So I'm not in it to hold. But I will say this. It doesn't mean, like, if you're looking financially, it could be beneficial to hold. I don't care about that. I don't care about money. Clearly, look at my MetaMask. Look at everything. I don't care about money.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to open. But again, I think it's fair to say too, for everyone that's doing this, right? Like, I don't anticipate every time you open a pack, you're making $100 like the last time around. You're probably getting closer to like the Top Shot world, right? It's $50 for a pack. You get 5 moments, even though 2 of them are uncommon or higher. I think you definitely have the potential of opening a pack, and resale on it could be $30 or less. Overall, though, again, just my thoughts, my feelings, But overall, though, if you buy 10 packs, I think it favors you to have positive value in there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be in Candy. Like, it's definitely in Candy's best interest that you make money when you buy a pack.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
We don't want to get to a point where we're buying $50 packs and we're consistently getting $25 to $30 worth of stuff out of it. And I don't think we're going to see that. Like I said, these mint counts are still low enough, and that
I'm just saying, you open up one pack, and it's Anthony Alford, right? And it's Miguel. I mean,
if you pull like two uncommons of just crap players, and your cores are all crap, I guess it could happen.
And that's why I want to say, that's why I want to preference this, right? Like,
yeah,
if you were out there, if you're set to buy, I'm going to buy one pack. Like, if you're listening to our show for the first time because you saw that Candy ad, and you see this YouTube, right? Because you YouTube's Candy, and for some reason YouTube sent you to our channel, which that's a dumb move by you, YouTube. But like, if you're watching this because of that, I don't want you to feel like, well, let me buy one pack to find out what this is like, and that one pack you buy, this is the one we're talking about, and it goes for nothing, and you're saying, well, this is garbage, I'm moving on. I just want to say that there's definitely the potential. That wasn't the potential in the last one. You open up any pack, right? We talked about the worst possible pack you could have, you're still making money on. I think it's very possible that you could open a pack this time around and you will lose money. Like, that is a possibility. But in the grand scheme of things, right? Like I said, if you buy 10 packs, it's going to be very, very difficult to be in that situation. So it's going to be a little bit different this time around, right? Again, it's not like you're just opening packs and you're just, money's being poured into your pockets. That's what the last time was. But I think overall, too, because of everything we talked about, because of the rarity tiers and such, that there's definitely going to be a lot of positive money coming your way.
Yeah, and FD here in the comments has some numbers, and he agrees that, the more that you have, probably the more likely you are for some positive value there. Rares every 2.2 packs, epics every 7.6 packs, right? So odds are, if you're buying 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs, you're likely to hit one of the more rare tiers, which are going to get you obviously higher value.
Right. And then, of course,
the if you buy one tier, pack,
the higher overall quality players that are in there as well.
Yeah. Yep. True.
So I'm excited. 1 week.
Yeah, I mean that I'm pretty pumped. Like, we'll be on here live next week ripping our packs. So
that's it.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, like
we'll
like
talk
that'll
about
be
our
the
experience.
show. Yeah, excited.
Yes. So we'll have to cook something up. We haven't really decided yet, but we'll maybe cook something up next week. We'll see. But yeah, a week from today, you'll be watching. We'll be opening up packs. I'm gonna pull up my legendary. Jim's gonna hold his in that one pack. He's gonna hold his legendary will be in that one. So, you stupid fool. But I can't wait. We'll be back next week opening up these leadoff series packs from Candy. I'm excited. So I guess to end it too, the packs, it will be open until Friday. But again, the good thing would be if it sold out that day.
Yeah, I think if they're still available on Friday, that's probably not ideal.
Right.
Ideal scenario, they sell out pretty quick.
There you have it. So with that said, we will be back next week. We will be ripping packs. We'll talk to you guys then. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
So we're probably still live. They're watching.